All right. I am
So at
testing one,
least we're
two, three.
recording.
Yeah, we're recording. Recording on my end. It's recording on your end. We're recording.
I don't know. Should we have like music at the start? I've been trying to think of like which one of my songs would be the best like dungeon crawler for the game and like then use that song for like the intro music.
Yeah, cause like we don't have any like original music composed yet, or I just say use that, but
Yeah, my plan was just to use my music that I already have made if it'll fit, if it sounds like
oh
it
yeah.
fits. So,
Ah, we totally
I don't
could.
know. So I guess like here is the intro track.
Yeah, it's like do Batman. It's here.
Hello and welcome to Knobcat Games Dungeons of the Obelisk podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Sleppy.
And I'm a Nyka deer, our animator.
We'll just jump into this thing. I want to start like by introducing ourselves and telling people who we are, and then we'll get into talking about the game and what we're working on, and that should probably be enough for a first episode.
Yeah. Good,
Okay,
solid
so
first episode.
I'll go first then. My name's Joseph Sleppy. I go by Joe. I'm from Pennsylvania originally, and I'm living in New Mexico now. My job at Knobcat is that I have started Knobcat. It's my project, my company. I'm doing all of the game design documents and all the back end business stuff, you know, the behind the scenes bank accounts and all the bullshit paperwork and stuff that you have to go through.
The scary stuff.
Yeah. It's just crazy. Like you wouldn't think of like all the little things that you have to do, like have to have a privacy policy for the website, and we have to have direct deposit, which involves signing 4 different forms and sending them to different people. And
Jeez, yeah.
what else? Like I opened a bank account and that went pretty easy, but it took like a couple hours, I'd say. And the dude that did it, we were talking about like Animal Crossing and stuff, like he was pretty cool. But then he like just called me randomly like a couple days ago and was like, "Oh, we had an internal audit and they pulled your file to check, and we missed like all these papers that you need."
No.
So I had to like get him these papers real fast. It's just
Jeez.
like all that kind of stuff behind the scenes. That's what I'm doing at Knobcat.
Thank you for it.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like, oh, I feel like I don't make art, like the artwork. I'm not doing animation. I'm not programming. But this has been like a full-time job since I've started it 2 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, if you weren't here to do it, like that kind of work would probably just get divvied up between members or between who else launched it, and then it would still be a whole bunch of work, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel like it works better this way because then everyone else can focus on their job and not have to worry about like that kind of weird stuff.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I mean, to be honest, I kind of like business stuff. You know, like a lot of it's annoying. I hate printing out and signing papers and stuff,
Yeah.
but a lot of it's pretty fun. You know, you get into, I don't know, like calls with the accountant or the lawyers and stuff and discussing things and figuring things out. I don't know. I kind of like that aspect of it. The next thing on our list for introduction stuff is other stuff that we've done. So I have been an electronic musician for, I don't know, 15 years or something. It's kind of crazy when I think about it. So I've made a ton of music as Clone 334. So I think there's 52 Clone 334 releases, and before that it was Electric Type. I think there's 16 Electric Type releases. So I've made a lot of techno music. That's my other claim to fame, as it were. The only other thing that I do is just like streaming on Twitch as Star Rambler. So grindy loot hunting games on Twitch for hours. I haven't been too regular lately, but yeah. And then the last thing on introductions, I wanted to put a random fact about yourself, but then I realized that I don't want to think of a random fact about myself to tell people. Like, I find that really hard to do. But then I figured it would just be like a random fact.
Yeah.
And that maybe like tells you more than anything else. So my random fact for the listeners today is that a possum's lower body temperature prevents them from getting rabies. And I always knew that possums couldn't get rabies, but I always thought it was because they had like a higher body temperature that like kind of like boiled the the disease or whatever. But it's actually because they're have like a way lower body temperature, which I don't understand the science of that, but I feel like it's pretty neat.
Yeah. No, I didn't realize that. Like, their bodies just aren't warm enough, I guess, for rabies. I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Nice.
So I don't know what that has to do with making a video game or whatever that tells you about me, but
watch
watch
this come up in the lore like years later, and all the fans are scrambling on the podcast like they talked about in the first episode. Nah.
I hope so.
We gotta have like a possum mob or something. No, I don't want to kill possums. We gotta have a possum town.
That's the thing.
We gotta have a town
That's
of
the
possums.
thing about the game is like I always say like other games will have you like killing like I don't know like
kill this
fuzzy yeah, it's like I don't want to just kill a normal rat. Like that doesn't seem like very hero-esque.
Yeah, no, it seems kind of just needlessly violent.
So yeah, my policy on killing monsters is if you've ever seen Adventure Time where he's like doing that quest to get the Enchiridion.
Yeah.
And they're like, slay this monster, and he's like, is it evil? And they're like, yes. So he like kills it.
Yeah.
And it's like, slay this ant, and he's like, is it evil? And it's like, slay this unaligned ant. And he's like, no,
I can't do it, he's unaligned.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like all the monsters in our game, rest assured, are evil. So don't feel too bad about destroying them. You're making the world a better place.
Yeah, if I was about to make an edgy joke, but something about like, if we have any bunnies in the game, they will be Nazis. No, I'm kidding. No. That's a joke. Anyway, canceled on the first episode. Should I do my own introduction or?
Yeah, we should definitely get your introduction out of the way so people know who's talking.
Yeah, because I'm just sounding crazy over here. Hi, my name is Nyka Deer. I'm originally from Arkansas. I moved up to the Northwest. I'm currently living in Washington. My job right now, I am actually the animancer at Knobcat Games, or animator. If it moves, it's because I gave it life. So basically, I'm God, and you should worship me. But no, other stuff I do though. I'm an artist. I illustrate. I do commission work as like kind of a side thing. So I'm usually doing like people's OCs and like basically just whatever they want. And random fact. Let me think.
Oh yeah, you gave
I did mine really
official
fast.
Title at you did you jumped through really fast. That's fine, but you gave your official title
I saw
at Knobcat, which is animator, giver of movement.
Yeah, and
that's what
that tickled me so
you.
much.
Mine is oh shoot, now I'm like blanking on what my official title is at the company that I've created. Oh yeah, I'm Executive Prime.
Executive Prime, yes. Lord Prime demands it. More loot. More buffs.
More loot in the game.
Did you ever watch like She-Ra? That's just what I ended up thinking of.
No.
It's so good. They have a character named Horde Prime, and then there's like Lord Prime. It's a whole thing. Anyway, but
yeah, I was thinking more like Transformers, like Optimus Prime.
Hell yeah. That's a good shit. But yeah, Irvin YouTube. I mean, Irvin. I'm getting ahead of myself. Irvin commissions. I do YouTube. I do little fun animations like hobbies. I've been doing art over a decade, I guess. Like a mix of like 3D art with Cinema 4D and 2D art with things like Photoshop or like Medipaint or Krita. Random fact, did you know that in Russia, the popular variant of the Nintendo Entertainment System was called the Dendy? So if you talk about the NES in Russia, most people aren't going to know what you're talking about. But if you talk about the Dendy, they're going to be like, oh, the Mario machine, yeah.
Oh my god.
And it's
have you ever watched OKKO?
Yes. I'm actually watching.
Dendy is named that?
I haven't been able to find anywhere where they say that, but I'm like convinced that's where they got that from.
Because she's like the game like programmer,
she's video gamey,
loves coding
she's nerdy,
and stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, if she were like had anything to do with elephants, it would be like a no question, because Dendy himself is like this like elephant character with like a little blue hat, like baseball cap or something. But yeah, no, I was looking it up because I thought like Ian Jones Quarterly like does a ton of references to like video games in general. Like it seems like OKKO almost works on video game logic at times.
Oh yeah,
more
for
so
sure.
Like,
I think it was a
logic.
video game before it was a show, actually.
Really?
I think so.
Makes
like
sense,
at least
actually.
in the fact that they made a promotional video game for it before it was like a show.
Oh, cool. See, I didn't know much of the back history about it, but my partner and I had just finished Adventure Time, so we were like, we need something else to watch. And I was like, okay, KO sounds good, and we are just
so good.
Yeah, we weren't expecting this like kitty-looking show to have like Jungian theory and like deep character building and shit. It's nice.
I mean, I have a cat named Rad, and then one of our new kittens is named Rippy Roo. So. Oh,
Rippy Roo! Wait, I was gonna say like next you gotta get an Enid. But yeah, yeah. No, I've been just over the pandemic taking a real interest in like the gaming markets of different countries and like how that stuff kind of evolved in different regions. So learning about things like the Russian variant, learning about, which actually I think that was maybe built in Taiwan, but the Dendy, I mean. But yeah, I haven't really showed it off yet, but I actually have like a Chinese reproduction Game Boy Color right now, but it's like not Nintendo brand, but it still works pretty much perfectly as a Game Boy Color.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and it's called the GB Boy Color.
Oh yeah, I saw you posted that, and I was like trying to figure out why it was what it was called.
it's a $40 backlit modern Game Boy Color. It's actually nice. It has a few quirks, but I'm probably going to do a video on it eventually. So, but yeah, that's enough.
Should we talk about our game?
The game itself? Yeah, we're just talking about Dendys and OKKOs. Yeah, I'll let you lead that because it is your baby.
Yeah, so we're doing this podcast about 2 months in on trying to create this game, and we actually just got permission, I guess, to start using our game name publicly, which is Dungeons of the Obelisk.
Yes.
A little behind the scenes, we actually had a different name and had to change it because like trademark stuff, it was like you're not going to be able to use that name, so we had to like kind of reconsider a lot of aspects of the game, and I had to rewrite all the documents to make Dungeons of the Obelisk make sense. So I don't know if that's interesting or not, but
That's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
it's part of the development for sure, because like it's already kind of changed our direction a little bit with like naming conventions and stuff.
I think it actually solidified the idea of the game a lot more and made it more thematic, whereas before it was just kind of like a general, oh, it's a dungeon crawler, you know, but now it's like Dungeons of the Obelisk, and like I feel like the name tells you what it's gonna be.
Yeah. Plus, at this point, like, we just hired our programmer, and he's been, like, putting out some, like, proof of concepts, and that's just been, like, amazing to look at. Seeing, like, it moving.
I feel like every step of this, I'm just gonna be, like, screaming and, like, running around looking at stuff, because, like, you posted the first, like, idle animation, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And then our programmer Kel posts like the character walking around the dungeon, and I'm like, what? Like, this is what I wanted to happen, but I didn't know it was gonna be so awesome.
And like this soon too. It's like we're already getting like little mock-ups in and stuff. It's really...
he's worked for 3 days for us, and he's already like shown me like the character moving around the dungeon and stuff. Before we get too much further, I do want to say that the game is a 2D, turn-based, dungeon crawling, loot grinding adventure. That's our working catchphrase for it. Elevator pitch, maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, I've been kind of just, before I could tell people much about it, I was just saying like, oh, it's kind of like a mobile Diablo like, but even that's so vague. I mean, because they're probably thinking like isometric.
Is the whole genre, but one of the things about Diablo is that people can play Diablo for like 90 hours and never reach the end game and never understand what Diablo is actually about.
Jesus, yeah. I've never finished that game, and every time I've played, I kind of have that feeling like I'm not getting much of anywhere, so...
Yeah, it's real easy to just run around the story and, like, not ever really get to the point where your character is, like, super powerful, and, you know, you have set pieces and things start working together, and instead of doing, like, you know, 100 damage, you change a piece and get some kind of synergy, and now you're doing like 1,000 damage or whatever. I think in Diablo the numbers actually go up to like billions of damage, but like something as an example.
Like
and one of the aspects of our game that I'm hoping we can achieve is having that initial grind that makes Diablo fun for 90 hours, but then also getting you into the end game stuff a lot quicker, where you are worried about building your character and comboing and you know, pushing harder and stuff like that.
Yeah. And like, I'm sure like making it to where you can actually get through that stuff instead of just like never getting through because it's so impenetrable. It's like
one thing I hate is like the stories. Like the story of Diablo is so like, it's kind of generic, and it's so like long, and like the cutscenes, like I hate the cutscenes and stuff too. Like I always just skip all the story stuff. It's just like, I want to fight monsters, let me go. So our game's not going to have very much dialogue, for those wondering, because I've been watching people play it must be new, the Final Fantasy, is it 14?
Yeah.
That's like 14's an MMO that everyone's playing right now.
I actually have a character on it myself.
Oh really?
I haven't logged in a bit, but yeah.
Is the dialogue not like impenetrably like boring? Because I've been watching some people stream it, and it's just like,
I mean, the from what I've been hearing, the community like opinion on the story is like skip it until you get to the first expansion and then pay attention to all of it. And I'm just like, what? Because apparently the writing in the base game is just kind of really whatever. And then like they brought new writers in for like the expansions, and they got like better than they had any right to be, supposedly. So I've heard like you don't want to miss out on that. But
Oh, that's cool.
I wouldn't know that just by where I'm at in the game, because like it's a pretty world, but I'm just kind of like skimming through it as fast as I can to level up, you know? Like I play as one of the little Lalafels, and they're like the little short race, and I have a battle axe, so I'm like a big warrior, but I'm also the smallest person in the room. It's great. Yeah. But yeah, no, I feel like there's a lot of RPGs, especially like online ones or like mobile ones, where people just kind of skip through the story really fast anyway, especially if it's not like already just super engaging.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say Final Fantasy stories have ever been the most engaging things ever. Like, they're definitely stylistic, they're definitely fun games, and they do some cool character stuff, but like, it's usually like, an evil meteor is gonna destroy the Earth unless you get the 4 magic crystals that you are destined to get because you're the hero of light. Do. That's it. Something like that every time.
How can a meteor be evil?
I don't know, but there's always an evil meteor in Final Fantasy these days. Like, I was playing Final Fantasy 15 on the PS4, and midway through the game, they're like, this big satellite from space called whatever hit into the ground and spread the awful disease Star Scourge. I was like, another meteor, great. But they're good games. I don't want to just completely knock on Final Fantasy, but like I get what you're saying about the story. Like,
yeah, I mean, I've never really played one, but that's like the go-to example for it. You know, a lot of other games that I've tried to play, like a lot of mobile games and stuff, you just get into this like impenetrable story and all this dialogue, and you're just like, please let me play the game, and you're just like clicking through dialogue, and I don't understand why they spend so much time writing it.
Yeah.
When it's such like a hated part of the story of the game, you know?
It feels like something you could either like implement more organically in the midst of gameplay, or like, I don't know, just like divvy off to some other section where like it's there if the fan wants it or something, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I guess like, what was it, like Death Stranding? I played that a while ago, and they had like a lot of story content that was just like regulated to like emails and like little audio recordings.
Oh
So a
yeah,
lot of
that's
the
kind of
game
like how, you know, like a Skyrim or a Fallout is too.
So it's like, if you want to sit down at any point and be like, I'm going to check out what happened, you can totally like dig into that, but like, it's not getting in the way of you making those deliveries, doing that daily grind.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like we're getting close to our time limit that I have arbitrarily set. But what are we currently working on? What are you into right now?
Okay, so one thing, I almost made a tweet about this the other day. One thing I've learned about animating is you learn how to rig a character. You rig them up, you figure out how to animate it, you animate them, and then that tells you everything else you did wrong beforehand, and then you go back and do it again. So I've rebuilt the same rig maybe like 3 times at this point, and it's pretty solid now. I've been adjusting the weighting, trying to get the like animation to look good, because I want to get like a non-janky idle animation out. Like, I want it to actually look really nice.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to but what I think I'm going to do is I've been playing with, what are they called? Inverse kinematic controllers, or IK controllers. And those, what they do is, it's this whole complicated thing, but they use like math to like calculate where each bone's going to move based on which bone it's parented under. So like, basically you can make like a controller that moves your whole arm or something. Or like your leg. And what I realized really early on was I had focused entirely on limbs for animation, because I was like, oh, this body's not going to change, right? It's like, well, you might bend over, you might bend up, you might breathe in, you might breathe out, the head might move around. So I realized, oh, I actually need to pay attention to the chest and head. So now I'm setting up an IK rig just for like the spine. so I can like move the head around more readily without it just kind of breaking. And just trying to kind of finalize that and make it look decent, because after seeing Kel's prototype, I'm like, I kind of want to give him something to drop into that so I can see it animating. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I want to give him something like good to use, you know?
I haven't decided yet, but you know, if anyone's listening to this, I guess go check our Instagram.
Yeah. Or our Twitter, I guess.
You might be able to see that kind of stuff. Yeah, the Twitter. I'm gonna start using the Dungeons of the Obelisk Twitter and Instagram more, I think, than the company one. So it's Dungeons Obelisk would be the.
I was gonna say I should
link.
probably get on that one.
Yeah, I haven't really posted anything from them yet. So if you go and they're blank, I'm sorry, but I think I'm gonna start posting like all of our little prototypes and stuff, because I think that's gonna be super interesting to people.
I think, yeah, definitely. Like, I follow people all the time just for like work in progress stuff, so I can imagine.
Yeah,
that would be a big draw. Plus, if you're posting it on the account, like, I've been already kind of wondering if I could like post that stuff or not, so I'll just retweet it from that.
Yeah, I guess I was gonna ask you if you were like comfortable with the idle animation going out and stuff, because you know, a lot of the stuff we're posting right now is like, hey, this is still work in progress, but here's what I'm working on, and then I'm like not sure if that's something we want to be public or not yet. So
yeah, I don't know. Actually, I mean, I'm probably fine with it, I guess. If you're like comfortable posting it, then I'm probably comfortable with it being seen, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we can figure that out, you know, off the air, I guess, and get into it more, but
yeah, but I mean, any of the stuff I've already posted, like, if we want to, like, in the chat, if we want to use that, that's okay.
Right on. Yeah, so let's wrap it up. Let's tell everybody to go find us at knobcat.com. Mm-hmm. Sign up for the mailing list if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Dungeons Obelisk, because the game is Dungeons of the Obelisk, but of the makes it not fit into the Twitter namespace. So Dungeons Obelisk is what we're going with. And yeah, I guess we'll see you hopefully in 2 weeks. We're gonna do these every 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
You're like weeks off, right? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Just you know, sign up for the mailing list and we'll keep you updated.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye. And 3, 2, 1.